RHS Pre-Calculus presents Some Indifference Storytime.
Grandpa, tell me a story.
Well, Sonny, once upon a time, when I was about your age, my grandpa told me a story about when he was a kid, when his grandpa told him a story set in medieval times.
Tell me.
Okay, here it goes. Once upon a time, there was an evil castle and a good castle. They were right across from each other, and they were constantly at battle. One day, the princess from the good castle was taken away by the evil knight and was placed underground in the evil castle's dungeon. No one in the good castle wanted to go save her because they couldn't figure out how to get to the dungeon without hitting the moat while digging. One knight stepped up and said, "I know how to get to the castle, and here's how he did it." The knight knew that the castle was 75 degrees, or the dungeon was 75 degrees from where he stood beneath the castle. What he needed to find out was how much he had to dig straight down and how much he had to dig across to get to the dungeon. He used the sum and difference formula to figure this out. He used the sine of u plus v to find the vertical, sine of 40 degrees plus 35 degrees. Okay. So he did sine of 75 degrees equals the sine of 30 plus 45 degrees. So after he calculated it all out, he knew that the dungeon would be, or the y to the dungeon was square root of 2 plus the square root of 6 over 4, which he multiplied by 100 because the dungeon was 100 meters away total, and got that he had to dig 96.59 meters down. After this, to find how far horizontal he had to dig, he did the cosine of u plus v for the cosine of 45 plus 30 degrees. After applying the formula, he got that the cosine of 75 degrees equals square root of 6 minus square root of 2 over 4. And because this equals x over 100, because r is 100. So we got x is 25.88 meters.
But Grandpa, why didn't he use this formula?
He could not use the tan formula because that would get him y over x, and he knew neither y nor x, so he had to find x and y first using sine and cosine.
But why didn't he use this sine formula?
He didn't know the sine of 105 degrees because he forgot his unit circle.
But then why didn't he use this cosine formula?
Same thing. He did not know the cosine of 105 degrees minus 30 degrees.
Oh.
And the point is, because of trigonometry, the princess was saved and they all lived happily ever after.
Yay.